thing with vintage sometimes is people don't understand the rarity of it and just how much it's worth. And that's why we try to weed those people out, because if you don't understand it, then you don't need to be shopping from us if you're going to be complaining about prices or
Exactly.
any of that. It's really something that you have to have knowledge on to understand and to want to be a part of, whether it's being a seller or a buyer, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's just kind of like the misunderstanding behind
Yeah,
it.
I would agree, because I would be a liar if I say that there's been times where I blame like resellers for Bakersfield drying out and everything like that, because just me personally, I never got into reselling, even though I probably could have. I just have this thing where it's like, if I find something dope, I'd rather people say I look dope rather than making somebody else look dope. Completely narcissistic, you know what I mean? Unlike my friend Mo, who he'll buy something and resell it. I've even sold him some stuff so he can resell it. But I think like what everything is that there's this level of passion that plays a part. Long conversation. Like I said, it's not necessarily an interview or like, because we've already had an interview where I asked pretty much,
Oh yeah,
you know,
we did,
like
yeah.
how'd you get started, this and this and that. And so I already know those questions. But like I said, it's not every day I get to have a conversation with somebody who religiously thrifts, who understands how hard it is to find a good come up,
Yeah.
or how hard or how long you have to look for a dope shirt, even one shirt. You know, back in 2012 when I moved out here, before I had been thrifting for 2 years. Well, real quick, let me introduce myself. What's going on, everybody? It's Elijah here with KILJOY Magazine. You know, for another interview, y'all are probably getting tired of seeing me, but that does not matter. Today, I have a very special guest. I'm gonna go ahead and let them introduce themselves.
My name is Ashley, also Flea Market Shawty on Instagram and TikTok. And I am a thrifter, I guess. I like
Yeah.
to thrift.
Yeah, that comes with a lot of weight, saying you're a thrifter. I'll be honest, I haven't religiously thrifted in some years, just because I feel like Bakersfield thrift stores are kind of dried out a little bit. Just with the surge in reselling and everything, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, it's just I have kids now. I just don't have the time like I used to have when I didn't have kids. So I don't religiously thrift anymore like I used to. But like I was telling you earlier, you know, I came out here in 2012, before the new thrift store. Like I know you've been to all the thrift stores out here,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Even probably not even probably the ones that aren't as big, like
Like the little.
like Salvation Armies and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course, like all of them. I try to hit even like the smaller spots or anywhere. Like, I honestly, I don't thrift at thrift stores a lot, which is like, some people are kind of like, what does that mean? You
Yeah,
know?
no.
But I prefer like digging. So when I say that, I mean like either at yard sales, the bins, like the Goodwill bins, or like anywhere that I could go where there's big piles of clothes to dig through. That's actually like a lot more fun for me, and it's also usually cheaper. So that's where my area of like expertise is, and using my good eye or whatever.
Yeah.
But I prefer to not go to thrift stores or like racks or anything.
Why is that? Because like how old are you?
I'm 25.
25. So I'm 31. So there's a big difference of age. And like when I was thrifting, it's funny, I sound like a fucking old ass man back in my day. But no, I didn't like hear the bins, or I wasn't too big in the yard sales, even though I hear that's really where you find
That's the best,
like
yeah,
yard sales, estate
sure.
sales is really where you find like the good quality shit. What is it like going through the bins and yard sales and stuff like that?
I think a lot of people hate it because it's more complicated to like find things if you don't have the eye for it, if you can't feel, you know, the difference between fabrics and stuff.
Right.
It's something you definitely learn. It wasn't something that I just like was able to do immediately, but once I started going to the Goodwill bins, I definitely got into like knowing clothes a lot better, just because you have to feel it, you have to look for it, and knowing patterns, textures, you know, all of that is so important. And it's something that plays into curation a lot. I think that what I do is it's kind of looked down on, but it's actually not, like, it's an art form, in my opinion. And it's something that I feel like should be talked about more, because everybody who I work around at these flea markets and stuff, yeah, we're just selling clothes on the street, but at the end of the day, it's curation. And
Right.
that takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of knowledge. And I have fallen in love with it. It's like a passion to me now. But digging is definitely where I learned all of these things from,
Yeah, I want to get into what the eye is, because that's something I feel like we'll talk more about that, but it's something that you kind of, I mean, some people just, they have it, you know what I mean? Especially if you're very fashion forward, but it is something that can be learned. I think so. Just in my case, because when I was young, I wasn't a fashionable guy at all, but I grew into somewhat of a fashionable guy. But you said it's looked down on as far as what you do. What do you mean it's looked down on?
There's a lot of different there's a lot of different aspects of my job that can be looked down on. Like you said, like people, not to like come for you or anything, because I'm totally not, but a lot of people think that reselling or people that resell are the reason that thrift store prices are going up, which is 100% not true. It's because places like Goodwill are greedy corporations who don't really care about helping the community like they say they do.
Right.
But also just because inflation, there's a lot of reasons that we could, bring up, but they want us to blame resellers, and that is like a big reason that I think we're looked down on. And also, it's not considered art, and in my eyes it has always been an art form, like I said. And I just think that when you're going to buy something from someone's shop, even at just a flea market, you're buying from a curation that they've personally taken so much time to put together, and they're styling you. At the end of the day, somebody who is a curator, whether it's vintage or secondhand or luxury, anything,
right,
is curating the style for you and styling you so that you don't have to go out and do the hard work yourself. Because even me, I go out to a thrift store and I don't find anything,
there's days where
every day, like
you don't
every
find
day
shit.
I can hit one thrift store that I'm not going to come out with anything, so like I just feel like it's really important that we talk about why this is an art, because I get a lot of comments on my Instagram, on my TikToks, that are like hate comments, and it's really like annoying, because they're mad that they're not finding anything at thrift stores when I have those days too. It's not anybody's fault. And at the end of the day, resale is just a part of our economy.
It's become a part now.
Yes. And so in anything, I mean, if you go anywhere, there's people who resell even things from like Amazon. Like you could buy those big pallets of like Amazon stuff, or,
right,
like, new stuff too, and they're gonna go and resell that as well. And there's nothing wrong with that, because it's still cheaper than if you go buy it at a regular store. And the thing with vintage sometimes is people don't understand the rarity of it and just how much it's worth. And that's why we try to weed those people out, because if you don't understand it, then you don't need to be shopping from us if you're going to be complaining about prices or
exactly
any of that. It's really something that you have to have knowledge on to understand and to want to be a part of, whether it's being a seller or a buyer, And that's just kind of like the misunderstanding behind it.
I would agree, because I would be a liar if I say that there's been times where I blame like resellers for Bakersfield drying out and everything like that, because just me personally, I never got into reselling, even though I probably could have. I just have this thing where it's like, if I find something dope, I'd rather people say I look dope rather than making somebody else look dope. Completely narcissistic, you know what I mean? Unlike my friend Mo, who he'll buy something and resell it. I've even sold him some stuff so he could resell it. But I think like what everything is that there's this level of passion that plays a part. Because don't get me wrong, there are people who resell clothes strictly for the resale, just because they see a dope vintage shirt or an old shirt and they can resell it and get and double up their money, triple up their money. From what I've seen you do, because I followed you for a while, what I've seen you do is it's you not only style clothes, you really go in depth on the pieces, you really pick out shit that's dope. You know what I mean? You do it with a passion for clothes, not necessarily making a dollar, even though I'm pretty sure some of the clothes you found have probably made a pretty good dollar. Just, so yeah, there are some people that do that, but like you said, we live in an economy right now where that's the norm, to buy vintage, and I fucking hate the word vintage only because I feel like a lot of people use that word incorrectly. But that's just me. We'll get into that later. But yeah, that there's a lot. That's just the economy now. You know what I mean? Where a lot of the older shit is coming back now, and people are realizing their value 15 years later, and now other people are realizing their value and they want to buy it. You know, I don't know if you follow like because a lot of the clothes you curate, I'm called curating, is geared more towards women, right?
Yeah, I do a lot of like femme clothing. So
Well, maybe not women, just
like feminine stuff. And I mean, if I find a dope shirt, obviously, like if it fits my curation, I'll post it.
Yeah.
But if not, there's times where I also just sell it to someone who might appreciate it more. Or like usually I try to like sell things that I won't appreciate as much for a lot less than, you know, you would see other people sell it for. It depends. There's a whole system within the community that like we're okay with reselling each other's stuff just because we understand that's part of like the game almost, and like it's kind of almost like trading, like it's like a barter system. If that makes sense. And like you said, a lot of the times like there's things that there's people that will sell like whatever they can find thrifting, whether it be like Lululemon stuff, or, you know, just, like,
stuff that's not necessarily vintage or old, but maybe hype. Like this specific shirt that I have on it's probably a shirt made like the t-shirt stores in a mall. Like there's nothing cool about it except the design, but somebody will see Jordan on it and try and sell it for, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, and what do you mean by like vintage?
So vintage. Like I said, I keep up with a lot of thrifting stuff, right? And what I hear people say vintage is anything old. If it's old, it's vintage. I don't necessarily agree with that. I feel like vintage is sort of the same as classic, right? Classic is not something that's just old. Everything is old. But if it's timeless, if it's something that actually has meaning even 15, 20 years down the line, or it's rare, even when the time it came out, it's rare, and it's really like classic, that's like vintage. You know what I mean? Because like this shirt could be 15 years old. I don't necessarily think it's vintage. It's just old. You know what I mean? But if it was...
And that's true.
But if it was like released at like game 6 of a Chicago Bulls game, and it's like a you know, merch or something like that, then I would consider that vintage. But that's just me. I don't know if you have a different definition of what vintage is.
I mean, the definition itself is just 20 years.
Okay.
So anything 20 years or prior would be considered vintage now, which is kind of crazy. And a lot of people don't want to accept that because it's making us feel old, but that's that. And yeah, like you're right, 15 years, that could, on my profile, if you look, I say, like in my bio, it says vintage and Y2K curator. Right. So vintage is anything 20 years or before, like I said. And then when I say Y2K, that's actually a style. Like a lot of people would consider that a style, but I just refer to it as the era. So like
2000s era clothing,
So like Ed Hardy stuff, things like that.
Von
like
Dutch.
Von Dutch.
Is Von Dutch cool?
Yeah, it is. It's pretty popular.
I'm gonna go give me a Von Dutch hat.
Yeah, I have some if you want one.
I mean, are they trucker hats? Cause I only wear
trucker hats.
Oh, big bet. Oh shit, hell yeah.
I'll get you one.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I have my collection. It features like stuff from the 90s. I have a lot of like random stuff too from earlier, so like 50s, 60s, 70s. I don't love 80s, but sometimes I'll pick it up.
I love 80s.
Really? A lot of men I've noticed really like 80s, so maybe that's more of like a mask, like I don't know.
Maybe I don't know. I love 80s clothes. I just love it.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. I mean, some people really like the colors, the patterns too, and like the flowiness.
I think it's the fit, the way the clothes were fitting on men. Back in the 80s and like early 70s, I just like the fit, because like especially when it comes to like more dressy clothes, it was a lot more flare and flashy and open, not so much constricted like it is now. So I don't know, I like that.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, everybody has their taste too. That's another thing. For me, I really like the 90s fit, like how 90s clothes fit me. I feel like it was just like made for like, I hate to say it, but like a lot of people were really into like skinny. Like, I don't know, just like being skinny. A
lot more people's frames were skinnier because it was considered to be cool or whatever.
Yeah, so that changes. Like, so like now, you know, people have BBLs and stuff. Like it just depends on the era. And like in the 90s, I also liked their style, just like how they dressed. And one thing about my shop is that I try not to constrict myself to like a style or an era or anything. I really curate whatever I think is dope, you know? And that's different for everybody, but my personal taste is just like anything that I would want to style with, or anything I would wear myself, you know? So like whenever I'm buying anything, it's any aesthetic. Like I don't care about aesthetic, you know, whether it's like grungy stuff or like, you know, super like Y2K early 2000s stuff. I don't care like what it is, as long as I think it's dope and it can be styled by somebody.
Does that ever limit what you do? Because, you know, that's another question I had is how do you decide on what clothes to, you know, when you're going to the thrift store or the bins, wherever, how do you decide what to get? You know, and you just obviously said stuff that I like. Does that make it harder for you to sell it as opposed to keep it? Or
Oh my god.
because that's my issue is I never want to sell shit because I just, if it's not my size, I don't buy it. You know what I mean? But obviously you have something different where you're trying to cater to a lot of other people. So does you liking the piece or the pieces limit you to your business essentially?
Honestly, there was a point when I first started where I was so broke that I hated it, but I had to just get rid of some stuff that I really loved. And I'm at the point now where I can keep all of the stuff I really like, and I just feel like I find so much now that I'm okay with keeping a lot of the stuff.
Okay.
Like, and I'm at a point now where I have I'm able to find like at least 50 to 100, even more sometimes, pieces a week. So it's like keeping one or two of them isn't going to really make a difference on my, like, you know, for my shop or whatever. It used to definitely be an issue when I only knew thrifting, going to thrift stores, you know. And also thrift stores are more expensive, so I wouldn't get as much.
Right.
And I would have to sell it or resell it because it was just that's a part of the game.
Yeah,
I gotta make money too.
You gotta make money, so it's like I gotta let it go. I understand that. Yeah, that's dope. So look, let's talk. I want to talk about. So you've been thrifting for how long, or how long would you say?
I mean, thrifting, like for what?
Like how long have you? I guess been a fuck. What's the word? How long have you liked secondhand? I can't think of the word that I want to use.
I mean, I've always gone to thrift stores. I started going. I mean, I guess my first experience with secondhand was like at a swap meet. My dad used to set up there, so we would go every week. Like he's a real estate agent. He didn't like sell or anything, but I was always there, and he would set up for like to sell houses to immigrants there. Like that's his specialty, is selling to immigrant people. So we would go to the swap meet because there's a lot of Hispanic.
I love the swap meet.
There's a lot of Hispanic people there, so he would, you know, that was his target audience. And I would walk around with my mom like all morning, and we just kind of like, we would always find stuff. And I never thought, in my mind, it was never less than like mall clothes or, you know, like anything from, you know, brand new or anything. I always thought it was cooler. Like, honestly, I never ever looked down on it myself. And even like if kids at school, I personally never got picked on. I don't know, like a lot of people say they would get picked on for like thrifting and stuff. That never happened to me.
Not at all. It's quite opposite for me.
Literally, people thought it was cool in high school when I did it because it was a lot less popular back then, and nobody ever like made fun of me or anything. But I know that that's a thing. But yeah, since I was little, and then like my mom, she really likes interior design, so she taught me a lot. I think I learned the most from my mom because she taught me about color schemes and like, you know, tones and like fabrics, because she would buy curtains or, you know, like her decorations were always really well curated too. Like if you go to my house now, she has it all like perfectly done. She knows her shit, you know. She knows how to. She just knows what's the word, aesthetics, I guess, really well. And she taught me a lot of that. I learned a lot of it through her. I really love like earth tones and stuff because of her now. It's not like all that I curate, but like that's like my favorite color scheme, I guess, is like earth tones. And I learned a lot through her. And then in high school I started thrifting more so for myself, so like clothing and I would always rework stuff. So like if I found stuff, because it's not easy to find things. Even back then,
to fit or
it's never been easy.
Are perfect for what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to like.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I found a pair of pants that were just fucking dope, but they just weren't the fit I like. So I had to go and get them tailored, or a shirt or whatever.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
So yeah.
It's never been easy to find things though, and I like when people are newer to thrifting, I can tell because they'll say a lot of things about resellers, and I'm like, dude, even when I was younger, it wasn't that easy to find things at thrift stores, like even 10 years ago, you know,
Right.
15 years ago. It's never been easy, and I started reworking in high school, and I think that got me more into thrifting because I realized, oh, I can like change some of this stuff and make it for me, you know, make it, personalize it, customize it. And so in high school, I started taking it a lot more seriously. I would rework. I actually still have some of the stuff I reworked, and I'm like, or my friends have it too. Like I've given it away. I just want it close to me though because it reminds me of that.
It's
time.
special, yeah. It's a special thing.
And then after high school, I would like always go thrifting with a specific friend. Like we would go every single day, all day. I don't even know, we didn't have money, so I don't know why I was doing that, but like I would find some stuff and have to put it back because I couldn't afford it and stuff.
You never like pop tags, like
Dude,
like seen a tag that would. I've done.
Sometimes.
I've been guilty of that a lot. Where I'll see like I'll be a men's shirt and it'll be another men's shirt for cheaper, and I'll just switch the tags out.
Yeah,
I've done that.
He would do that for me more. Like I would just be like, can you like?
Yeah.
I'd be scared. I don't know why. Like I've always been like terrified.
I've done that a lot.
Yeah. After high school, like I started thrifting, but then like once I actually got a job and could afford things, like I would buy a lot of it, and like I wouldn't call myself a hoarder because I really wasn't. I've always had a Depop too. That's like I've always posted on Depop. But then like as I started collecting more of it, I realized like I really loved that. And then yeah, I started a business in 2020, but it was reselling like regular like wholesale.
Yeah.
And I hated it. I was like, this is like not what I love to do. And I know that thrifting is hard and like finding cool stuff is hard, but like I really wanted to try it. So I switched my entire business model and started selling thrifted clothes or like reworked clothes, and it was going so much better for me because I was in my element.
Yeah.
And ever since then I knew like this is a possibility. I just need to find like a way, you know? And that's when I stopped thrifting so much and I liked digging through like piles wherever.
So that's typically how you find your stuff now, is not because the thrift stores have dried up. I mean, when I started thrifting, what got me into thrifting just personally was I went with a group of people, and only one person knew what they were doing. Like they actually knew how like to locate cool clothes, and then so I'm just following him around, and he came across like a vintage single stitch Darkwing Duck. I don't know if you know if you're familiar with Darkwing Duck. It's an old cartoon. It's like Daffy Duck, but it's a superhero. Fuck, I just really aged myself with that. Yeah, because you're like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I'm still learning.
Yeah,
so
but nah,
cool.
but it's a fucking old ass cartoon from when I was a kid. And I thought that shit was dope. And like I had never seen anything like it. And I've personally never been like, nobody's ever talked shit about me thrifting. You know what I mean? It actually been the quite opposite. I can't tell you how many people come up to me and they're like, hey man, take me thrifting. You dress dope. Take me thrifting. And I tell them I have to set the expectation. Look, man, guaranteed you're not going to find anything. You're not going to find, because the shirt that I found, bro, I've been in the thrift store every day for 4 days and found this one shirt. Like, you're not going to find anything. And they always go, they look, they try and do what I do, but they never find anything. And that's because, believe it or not, and you probably can attest to this, there's a certain art to finding clothes at a thrift store. I personally believe that, one, you have to have the eye, but there's a certain formula that I followed.
It's a skill too.
That's what I'm saying. It's a skill to finding things at the thrift store, where more than likely it takes you 4 days to find something.
I would say give it a week.
Yeah.
Go to one thrift store for a week, and maybe you'll find something super dope. You know.
Yeah.
But like it's gonna take a while, and I don't think people understand that. That's like the part that bugs me the most, because I think people just think I go to one thrift store a week and like buy a bunch of stuff and then resell it.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
They think I walk in there, I see the shirt right in the front. Oh, this is the dope ass Tommy Hilfiger shirt. Bet, walk out. Like, no,
that doesn't happen. That's definitely not how that works. And like you said, it takes
it's a skill.
Yeah.
It's
like you have to know you have to have the eye first of all, and then you have to know when to go, where to go, you know, how to look through things. Like, I don't know, it's just like a whole process that you have to learn and understand. And that's kind of something I also fell in love with, was like learning that there is a skill to it, and being able to like mix my own aesthetic into it. And like everybody has their own style, so I was able to make it my own, you know. And if you go, like, you went to our flea market this weekend,
Yeah.
you would see everyone's shops. Everyone has different stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's kind of a reflection of us. And
Mhm.
I think that's just like the most beautiful part of it. Like, and it takes a kind of like a profound, like, it has a more profound meaning than I think a lot of people understand. And I have a really big passion for it now. So, yeah, like you said, like, you're not just gonna go to one thrift store. It takes a passion to want to go every single day, or every, like,
And then to all of them, because
Mhm.
Bakersfield has a lot of thrift stores, and then so some days you're driving literally across town to every
Yeah.
thrift store to try and find something.
Mhm.
If you can, if you're willing, what is your technique to finding something? I know when it comes to like yard sales and bins and everything, that's more so, in my opinion. I think like the bins are like brute, just digging through everything,
Mhm.
as opposed to having to. I mean, I guess it's the kind of same, just in a different form. But
Yeah,
what is
different formats,
yeah, it's
same
different
thing.
formats. One is lined up, the other one you got to
Mhm.
dig. But what is your process when you go to a thrift store and you're looking for something? I don't know if you want to give it out. I know some people,
Yeah. I mean,
they're like, no, this is how I do my thing.
I think
But
it's like,
well, like walk us through a day of you looking for something.
I would just man, if I'm being real, and I'm not trying to be like a gatekeeper or anything.
Nah, be a gatekeeper.
I can gatekeep a little bit, but it's like,
Do you?
I do sometimes. It depends. I try not to a lot, and I think that's what brings me so much abundance. Is like when
Yeah.
you don't gatekeep so much, and you allow others to, you know, you share your experiences with other people, then that's really good. But I also do think that this takes like a certain level of practice, and everybody has their own, you know, way of doing it. And a lot of people in the vintage community, like, they usually say, like, I've done my time.
Yeah,
So you do yours, you know, because
I'm guilty of that as well. Where it's like, look, man, it took me a whole week to find this. Like,
yeah.
it's not gonna happen for you.
And yeah, for me, it's intuition. I honestly
Yeah.
just follow my intuition, go wherever, and like, you have to look through everything. That's one thing I can say. Like, you gotta look through everything, like every single thing, because you never know what you're gonna miss.
Nope.
And there's been times where I go through a bin that's already been looked through by everybody in the damn store, and I find something at the bottom, and it's crazy, you know, just because people aren't willing to really search, or they don't have the patience for it.
They
You have to have
half-ass it.
patience. I think that's like my biggest tip, is just patience. Like, it's the most important thing in this my entire job, literally, because it's not like I just got here, you know, in a year even.
No, you've been
It's
doing it
taken
for some years.
me- and I had another business, an entire business before this, you know.
Mhm.
So I just feel like I love sharing, but I just don't even know what to share, because it's like I really did just learn myself. And like I said, being patient, looking through everything. That's all I can really say, is like, you got to find good spots too. And that's one thing I will gatekeep a little bit, or like where I go now, because
Mm.
I would post a lot, you know, about where I would go. And yeah, like a lot of
Now it's all dried up
now
because
Bakersfield got
yeah,
me going out of town again, because I can't, like,
you can't go in Bakersfield
yeah.
because
And I think that's one thing about Bakersfield though. Like, we probably didn't get bullied or anything for thrifting, because people are cool about that here. And there's not like, I feel like people are a lot more open-minded to it, because it's not like we have the most wealthy community. And,
Right.
like, we also have a lot of people of color here. So I think we have a more open mind to it.
Mhm.
And I love that everybody thrifts here, but it does get in the way for sure sometimes. And that's why I have slowed down on sharing a lot of content of where I go,
Mhm.
because I have noticed
yeah,
as my page grows, a lot more people, you know, will definitely hop on that. And it's a little annoying, I'm not gonna lie, because it's like, you gotta use your own
no,
creativity and go places.
it's it's super annoying to me because 2012, 13, 14, I could literally pull up to any thrift store, you know, spend a week there and come out with hundreds of dollars worth of items that I got for $50.
Yeah,
You know,
for
like
sure.
I used to go to, it's called Bernard's now, but Rad
Rad
thrift store.
is dry.
It is super dry. I don't even go anymore. But when I used to go, like, I think one of the best things that I found at Rad was a Bape and Cause collab hoodie. The full zip up. I still have it to this day, and it's one of the greatest things. And it's like stuff like that I feel like you couldn't find nowadays just because so many people go and they see like, oh, thrifting is up now or reselling is up now.
They pay attention to what's selling.
Yeah.
I definitely know that there's stores like Rad that will up their prices because they see what's selling and stuff. But places like Goodwill, if you go in, they're just doing some bullshit. Can I cuss?
Nah, dude. Bro, look, talk your shit, because talk your shit.
For sure, because like you go into the boutique section and it's like H&M shit for $20. Like they don't even know what they're doing.
Nah.
So they're just like, you can't blame a reseller for that. You know, you can't do that because they just they're taxing on anything that they think is cool, which they don't even have knowledge or like
absolutely
knowledge about. And they think that like I found like single stitch stuff, like dope stuff in the men's section versus like the H&M shit in the boutique section. And I'm like, they have no clue what they're doing.
They're looking, because they're looking at the name brand and thinking name brand is what's gonna sell. When thrifting, you know, name brand is not always good. Like I'm sure you found a bunch of shit that was dope that's not a name brand, you know, or not a very popular name brand.
No tax.
That's what I'm saying. No tax. I don't know how you feel about like the dope shirts with like stuff like this that has like a AAA tag on there. Like obviously somebody made the shirt. You know what I mean? But yeah, they just see the name brands, H&M, this and this and that, and they jack up the prices thinking that's what's gonna sell. And it's like, no, that's not it.
Yeah, and that's the problem with places like Goodwill and like even Rad. Sometimes like they're gonna try to like, you know, tax on all of it and see what happens. And even though like I'm upset about the whole like reseller thing, like I still am not gonna blame resellers because obviously I am one, so maybe I'm biased. But like I also just think like if you know the stats on it and stuff, like Goodwill will only put out about 10 to 15% of the stuff they're even donated. Everything else, so like 80 to 85% of it is gonna get literally thrown into a landfill. And they're out here promoting or like saying that they're, you know, creating jobs and doing all this for the community. If they really wanted to do that, they have so much more inventory they could possibly put out and stuff, like, and they have like they're trying to make money off of literally whatever they can. It has nothing to do with resellers. Unfortunately, we're gonna get blamed, but that's just kind of that's gonna happen. Everybody wants somebody to blame.
It's gonna happen. Like we were talking about earlier with like the community now. Like there are people like even like when I went to the flea market this past weekend, you know, I've seen a lot of people that had hype shit that were just selling it to sell it. But then I've seen a lot of people that you actually had to look through their stuff to find something that was cool just because it all was cool. You know what I mean? They have this eye. And we're going to talk about the flea market in a bit because I love what you've been doing with it. I don't know how much of it, you know, is you. Just because I remember when he announced the first one, but we'll get to that later. But Bakersfield does have a really big, I don't want to say reselling community, but really big like vintage community. I didn't know that many people out here took part in curating. And I feel bad calling it curating because you call it curating and I can feel you're passionate about it. But there's probably other people who just resell. And I don't want to put the groups, because you personally know a lot of people who do what you do. I mean, I know a lot of people that I see you know, either on their Instagram or they'll be on your Instagram and you guys will sell stuff. So I know that group, like they really are passionate about it. So I don't want to call everybody resellers. I don't want to call everybody curators because it's not the case. But what has been your personal experience just knowing so many people in the city who essentially is your competition?
That's such a like really good question because I don't consider it competition. Like this is a community, you know? And at the end of the day, we're all gonna find different things because it's not like we're selling the same style, the same. We're not gonna find the same items, you
Right.
know? And so, like I said, we'll resell each other's stuff, and it doesn't matter. Like, we don't care because we know that, like, if you were to have a really cool shirt that I wanted, I would pay you half of what I'm gonna sell it for. You made your cut, you know?
Right.
So that's kind of how it works. It's like sometimes it's a barter system on a trade, you know, like,
Mm-hmm.
and so I've never considered anybody here my competition. Not even a little bit. There's been times I've been mad, like, why are you coming to the same spot as me, dude? Like, all of a sudden you see me posting and like, now
Yeah.
you're here. But I've had to even brush that off because I'm the one posting it too, you know, like, that's my own fault. So at the end of the day, like, we're working together, and that's something I've also had to, like, it's not like I didn't see other people as like I didn't get scared if I saw somebody else at a thrift store and I'm like, damn, I need to find shit before them, you know, because like now they're it's not competition, it's more like it's like a push, like they're
Yeah, they're pushing you
harder,
to,
you know?
to actually look.
So yeah, we kind of make each other work harder, if anything, and I don't know how other people feel about it, but that's kind of why I've wanted to bring everyone together, is because we need to know each other, and we need to know, you know, we need to know where events are so that we can also like, or create events so that we can create a business for ourselves doing what we love. And I consider it a community, like, through and through.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, these people are my family, they're not my competition,
Yeah.
you know? So yeah, I've never been a hater.
You ever gone on like excursions with them, like to go to the bins or whatever?
For sure.
Okay.
There's
Yeah.
been a lot of friends we go thrifting together, and if they find something dope before me, that's cool, but like
Is it though?
how much are you selling it for?
Right. No, that's funny. Like I said, the atmosphere of what vintage or reselling or whatever it's called in Bakersfield has definitely changed in the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely. I mean, like I said, when I was doing it, it was really all about competition. You know,
Mm-hmm.
people see you in the thrift store or wherever, and they're like, "Fuck, you know, let me follow behind him."
Mm-hmm.
And I fucking hate that.
People do that to me.
I hate that so
It's
much when it's
always-
like I'm sitting here
always-
looking,
Mhm.
and they're right behind me looking.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, go on that side or go.
That's what I usually do. I'll just go to a whole other section.
Yeah.
Like, have you looked over here? Because I'm gonna go look over.
I'm
there
looking.
quick.
I'm
Yeah.
looking everywhere. Like, I even go look through the women's clothes because, like,
Yeah.
you know, I've had it where sometimes I'll find something dope, but I gotta split, so I'll just hide it in a different section and then come back and get it. Or even like women's clothes, like are fucking dope. You know, they got jackets or shirts where it's like oversized for them, but it'll fit me great. So I look everywhere, but it has gotten to be more of a community aspect in the last couple of years than it has been at one point, which is something that I want to talk about because I know you do a lot of events, not even just inside the city. Like, I think damn near every weekend you're driving to LA or wherever to doing events, whatever. That can't be easy for you, right?
It's a lot of like. It's exhausting sometimes for my body and my mental health. Like, I'm smaller too, so I think a lot of people don't take into account. It's literally like the whole setup and breakdown of an entire like.
Your shit
shop
be
almost.
extravagant.
Yeah, so I'm putting out like racks, at least 4 racks, and like, you know, my whole canopy, my whole setup. It gets really exhausting to do that. I know people who do it like 3 times a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That is like, I don't know how they do that, but that's crazy to me. I can only do like once a weekend, maybe
Right.
twice. I think I did twice last weekend,
Mhm.
but that was pretty tiring too. And yeah, I love it though. I think that the more I go out of town, the more people I meet, and I meet a lot of dope people. I have a lot of cool friends all around California now just because of reselling, and I honestly hate calling it reselling too. I like calling it curating.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
When people, you know, ask me what I do, I don't say I resell. I say
Just
curate.
keep it curating, just
Yeah.
because it's like I said, the passion in there. Just from now on, we'll just keep it curating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's like a big thing to me, just because it's my job, but it's also my passion. So
Mhm.
I've found a lot of how can I say it, like it's just more comfortable for me to call it curating.
Yeah.
Because people are gonna hate if I say reselling, and that's okay. I don't really care anymore too much. I get a lot of hate on the internet, but yeah, going out of town is like one of the biggest things that's pushed me to do it harder too, because I see other, like, LA, I'm going to San Diego in a couple weeks.
Mm.
Those people have crazy stuff, man. Like, I mean, like, insane. And it pushes me to go harder because I want to be on the same level as them, you know? And it's a lot of work to do all of that, but it's so worth it because I'm seeing what's outside of Bakersfield too and bringing it here. And I think that's one of the biggest things that has made me like it's made me grow not only on Instagram but just as a person, like,
Yeah.
and as a business.
That's dope. What? So I know. I don't know. Do you watch like are you familiar with like Sean Witherspoon? Like
Yeah.
round
I
two.
don't watch it, but I'm completely familiar with it.
Yeah.
Just 'cause it's mostly like T-shirts and
Yeah,
stuff. You know?
it's
Yeah, I've heard a lot about it, and it's cool because like the communities in like LA and stuff, they're kind of like they know those people, and like it's cool, but I'm not too into it myself.
Yeah, I feel like what you do, which is one thing that I like is different than what the term reseller is, because like you specifically focus on like curated vintage Y2K for like you said, like femme and everything, and you don't necessarily mess with like Jordans or shoes or like band tees, stuff like so you don't, all the stuff that reselling gets a bad rap for. I feel like you're not taking part in that side of it. Which is dope, which is really dope. So I know like you were talking about a lot of those people who've been doing it for years and they got a crazy collection and everything. I can almost guarantee you that some of them know people that have like garages full of like vintage clothes and stuff.
I do too. That's
yeah. That's when I ask, like,
know people. You gotta, yeah. I think it's important to make connections. In
yeah.
What you do. And that's all I'm gonna share. You gotta make your connections.
No, yeah.
Like,
that's what I was gonna ask. Is like, do you have you experienced that where like you made a connection and they're like, oh, I got bins and bins and bins of private stuff, and they let you like.
For sure.
What is that?
I posted some of it. I'll share like the stuff that I posted.
Yeah.
I've gone to storage units and like stuff like that. I think that's where you find the craziest stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because it's untouched, and it's hard to make those connections. I'll say that, but you gotta be in it. And you got to be serious with your time. And, like, if somebody hits me up to do, like, a house call or something, like, come through to my house and look through it, you got to be on it. Like, you got to be, like, I'll be right there, you know? So when you're making those connections, it's not easy, and it's not something that happens often, or as often as maybe you might think, unless you've been in this for years, you know, and you know a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes time to build those. And I definitely think that that's how you build the best curation.
That's how you build the best, and is making those connections to those people who are like, well, I got a whole garage full of stuff I haven't touched in 10 years. Yeah. Pull up and look through, you get whatever. I know when I was thrifting heavy, I used to like have, at the end of me wearing everything, I used to have like 3 or 4 bags full of clothes, and I just tell my friends, hey, y'all just look through the bags and get whatever y'all want. Sometimes I'll forget and some shit will slip in there that I didn't mean to give away. But fuck it, I'll just go find something else again. Like Mo, he was one of the people I let go in my house and just look through the bags before I either redonated it, which I've rebought clothes that I've donated back at the thrift store like a fucking idiot. But yeah, so let's talk about, I guess, in the city, right? Because you do a lot for the curation community in the city. More recently with like the sidewalk sales. Right, like I said earlier, I don't know your involvement in there. When did that happen for you? When are you a part of it?
So Bakersfield Vintage has been having sidewalk sales for like.
I went to. It's been, I think it's been 2 years, because the first sidewalk sale, the first sidewalk sale was featured in my first magazine, and it's been 2 years since I've done the mag. You might have been there.
That was the one here. So he had another location. And he would do his sales there too, but at this location, it's been about 2 years.
Yeah, right. I remember it was in the street, right in front of the shop, and had people do it. And I was there, and I was on a completely whole different thing then. Yeah. But you've been a part of it since then, or
since this location? I think I was at the first one here, and then ever since then, I've been selling here. But my involvement with it kind of grew this year. I just saw a lot of potential for it, and I started making the reels, the Instagram reels and TikToks and stuff, and a couple of them blew up. So Instagram, really did its thing, and like people started coming through. They asked me to be on the news here for the sidewalk.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
Which
That was
was
dope.
cool.
That was dope.
It was really cool. But I just think that like social media in general actually was like the biggest factor of growing it. And I think that my involvement in it has, I don't want to sound like,
Talk your shit.
I just feel like
Talk your shit.
I really helped make it grow, and I'm not saying that I did it for myself or anything. I did it for my community. Like, seriously. I seriously did, and I saw everybody, like, the first time it got really poppin', I was like, oh my god, like, I'm so happy right now because everybody's making money. Everybody's eating, you know?
Right,
like,
right.
I'm happy, and it makes me, like, really emotional, actually, because a lot of those people are really close friends of mine.
Yeah.
And to see them thriving when they thought they could never be, like, on my level or whatever, because I would go to LA and do really well at these markets, and I brought that here, and I'm really proud of that because it just shows that I'm able to do that, and that's able to happen here in Bakersfield. And we were making the same money that I would have been making in LA, like these past couple of sidewalk sales, and that made me really proud because I was able to see that that's possible. And before, I just think nobody thought that would ever happen in Bakersfield. But it's been so good these past few times that I'm really sad to have to, like, let it go for a little bit, but maybe I'll be back soon with my own market or something. I'm just kind of like, I'm going to distance myself a little bit from it during the summer, especially because it's so hot.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot of issues behind it that I won't get into, but I do want it to be really well organized, and I don't really want to, you know, be doing it alone. Like, I want a team of people. And it's been really stressful on me, honestly, just because my involvement with it,
it's been
last
huge,
time especially, was heavy.
Because
I was like the only one out
yeah,
there trying to help
this last
everybody.
one, I know this last one. I've been to a few. Like you said, this past year you've taken a bigger role in it. I've been to a few, but this last weekend, bro, was fucking huge.
Yeah.
I mean, you had shops the entire
whole
fucking block.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? People were like, "Oh, this is bigger than First Friday," and First Friday gotta see what's going on with this. So it's been pretty huge. And you mentioned that you don't necessarily have a team to help set.
Yeah, this isn't even my event. It's Bakersfield Vintage's event. So, working with them, like, maybe we could, you know, make it work out and have, like, a whole team of people helping. But just, like, the last time was really stressful on me, so I'm just taking a little break because, it, like you said, it was filled up around the block with vendors, which is great, but I need some help to, like, tell those vendors where to go, tell them where the bathrooms are, tell them where this or that is, and, like, you know, just help them in general, because I'd love to be there for all my vendors. Like I said, like, when I see them, I'm just seeing myself a couple years ago, you know? Like, I don't believe that I'm any better than them in any way. I just want to help uplift because I know that it's possible for them just like it was for me. And that's why I've been so happy these past few times. Like, even if I myself am not benefiting off of it, I'm okay with everybody else.
Somebody is, yeah. And I feel like now it's gotten so big where, I mean, was this ever an idea you had of, like, being in the head of, like, a flea market or a sidewalk sale or anything? Was this?
Yeah, and I still have plans on, like, doing my thing, but I want it to be some type of epic. Like, I don't know what I want to do with the future event, but I want it to be dope. Like, I have to come up with something because, to be honest, I haven't yet. And
gotta find a place because, like the fairgrounds or some place where they have the capacity.
Crazy. I'd love to do a Kern County vintage fair or something. Something crazy like that, because we deserve that. There's not a community like that in Kern County in general. So I just feel like we have to come together and make it a thing and possible. And yeah, people are going to be mad, you know, thrifting and this and that. But at the end of the day, if you're passionate about it, you're going to go out and
find a way.
Yeah, you're going to go out and find that clothes because it's everywhere. It's not like it's drying up. And yeah, it's going to get older and older and maybe harder to find. But at the end of the day, if you love it, you're going to go out and find it.
If you got the skill, you're going to find it. I can't tell you how many times we're like, because I'm from LA. I've been driven to LA and then, like, I see a Goodwill off the freeway. I go right off the freeway, hit the Goodwill, get back in my car and keep going. I've done that shit, like, just past weekend. I've done that shit a lot. But it's dope. I mean, have you ever heard of a thrift con?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the last year's thrift con. It's on Saturday in LA. I might go. I'm thinking about going.
Yeah.
I went last year, or the last time they had it. So it's a little bit overwhelming, just because I'm used to it being just a building and I can take my time. And I'm really one of two people in there looking for it. I'm not used to being in an entire convention center of people looking for the same shit I'm looking for. So, but for Bakersfield to have something like that, whether, you partner with Bakersfield Vintage or you just do it on your own, you know what I mean? For Bakersfield to have something like that, I think it's necessary. So, I'm putting in my card to help you curate that if you need help.
I've had a lot of offers for help.
I'm sure.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I really do, because maybe I will need that help one day,
I'm sure.
And I'm excited to see what we can do as not just as a vintage community, but with our entire small business and small, just the art community. And I want to make that really clear that we are a part of the art community. Whether people want to see that or not, we are stylists. And anybody who curates, not just vintage, luxury, whatever it might be, are stylists.
Absolutely.
And we could try to argue that, but when someone is taking so much time and effort into, going out and looking for these crazy clothes or whatever, I just think it's worth noting, that there's an art to it. And that's my biggest prerogative, I guess, with doing anything that I do, is reminding people that. Because yeah, it's a business, and I have a business, and I run this business, but I run it differently than any other business. It's not just
here's clothes, buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like there's a flair to it, and I hope that these events and stuff show people that. Although, no matter what, we're gonna pull people who are gonna be upset that there's not thrift store price stuff and all that. But the people who get it, and if they don't, then that's
not for them.
It's not for them.
It's not.
Exactly.
They go to the thrift store and try to find it, spend all the time, man hours.
You go find
it.
Yeah. You think you were ever gonna find the same shirt? You were never gonna find this dude. This
not at all. That's the greatest thing about that is it's the exclusivity, not a real word, but the fact is I can go and buy a shirt that nobody else will have, and I think that's worth something. You know what I mean? I think that's worth something. I know last time we spoke, I had asked you if you had ever had any implications of maybe doing your own clothing brand, right? I'm going to ask you again, because that was some time ago. Things might have changed. Do you have any implications of doing your own clothing brand?
100%. But that's something I'm keeping for future me. Because, I have a lot going on right now, if I'm being real. I'm dealing with so much, not that I'm complaining about.
No, but it's life.
Growing,
yeah.
And that's really dope. I just feel like I've gone through so much growth throughout these past few years, though, that I have to slow down a little bit, because it's a little much for me right now, and I have to handle my own self, my own business, too, and, I would love to screen print and rework, but that's something that I need the mental capacity and the creativity for, and when you're so busy, it's hard to be creative. I don't know if you those creative blocks,
absolutely.
It's just I don't mind taking a break from it, because I'm learning so much right now, going through all these clothes, seeing what I like I'm learning through vintage. That's the most beautiful thing to me, is that I'm really learning not just what's popular now, but what was popular then. This is fashion history. If you really look at what we're doing, we're collecting.
It's history.
History.
You're a historian, because you're telling the stories of old through giving light to it again.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And I just feel like learning about all of that is really giving me not just a platform, but also my own it's forming my style.
Yeah.
If I can
it's kind of giving you clarity of who you are, what you like as far as
exactly. Yeah. And I just really love learning through vintage. It's my favorite, because if you go to a Forever 21 and H&M, they're copying styles from 90s, 2000s.
Listen,
it's
yeah. All I do is wear button-up shirts and Hawaiian shirts. And because I just love a nice, good silk button-up. I love the material, the fabric. You go to Forever 21, they got button-up shirts all across the wall, and it's just regurgitating those styles, and not even in a good way. But
anybody who knows fashion, honestly, in general, can go up to it, look at it, touch it, and know
Like,
that
it's
not.
it's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's why we like try to weed out the people who don't understand it, is because they don't really get it.
They don't get it.
So it's okay if you don't get it. It's not for you, like you said.
You don't get it.
And I am okay with having a smaller audience if it means that they really understand and want to learn more. And that's my biggest thing. Is just having the right audience.
And I think that's why it'd be unfair to call you a reseller, because it seems like you care, like the people that buy your stuff, like you care about what they think about it rather than it being hype. Like I said, you don't fall in the niche of what what it means to be a reseller of such. So fuck all of it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Fuck all the haters in the comments. They don't get it. They don't get it.
Exactly.
Nobody gives a fuck.
I stopped caring.
Yeah, as you should. Yeah, I think I've covered everything. Real quick, before we go, I want your opinion. I know Bakersfield is kind of dried up right now, but let's just say 3 years ago, what was your favorite spot? So what was your favorite spot to go to, and what was the most reliable?
Dude, I think we all loved Rad.
That was a spot. Rad was my favorite. Rad was not the most reliable for me, but it was my favorite because all of like some of the better pieces that I still have from 6 years ago, I found at Rad. Yep. So Rad has been my favorite. And what's been your most reliable? Were you like
just yard sales, dude, going out on Saturdays?
Oh, see.
Like, that's always going to be the most reliable for anybody because nobody's going to be in the same area as you.
No.
Usually. Like, people don't want to wake up early either. Like, that's the biggest part.
You got to get up early, like 7, 8 o'clock. Like, I went yard selling one time with Mo, and we got up early. He was at my house 7:30, and we was driving everywhere. And it's dope because we found a lot of dope stuff. We had found like some stickers. They're selling for like 50 cents. And Mo talked a deal to buy like 1,000 stickers for $50 because we were going to go on this whole grand scheme of reselling stickers that never got off the ground. Real quick, what's been the most, I guess, your favorite thing you found? Or like the best or your favorite?
Ooh, I actually just a couple months ago, I think like 2 months ago, yeah, I found this really crazy archive piece. So it was a Vivian Tam mesh long sleeve. I posted it on my Instagram. It has like a dragon on it. It's pretty cool.
That sounds dope.
It was from a collection that was displayed at the Met Gala. And I found that in a dollar pile. It's worth like $500. And I'm keeping that thing forever. Like, I don't really...
Yeah.
I'm never thinking of selling it anymore. I think I put, like, on my Instagram, like, send me offers, but I'm not going to accept those offers. Like, I'm going to just keep it.
That's fucking dope. I'll tell you, this is a story, and we can end on this story. I think I was at the Salvation Army on Ming. That's my most reliable. I always find stuff. I've been there when they had to set up like a small time thrift store with just clothes everywhere. You know what I mean? That was more organized, but that's my most reliable. But I had found a 94 Olympic soccer jacket, red, white, blue, 94 Olympic, super, super clean, right? I still have it. I wore it one time to my friend's house, and then I went to the 99-cent store off the Hageman and Coffee. There's a 99-cent store, and he stayed across the street. So one night, I put the jacket on, I'm running across the street, and a car drives by and is honking. Doo, 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 doo. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? He stops the car, gets out the car, chases me down the street. Hey, man, how much you want for that jacket? How much you want for that jacket? I was like, the one that I'm fucking wearing? Yeah, man, I've been looking for it. How much you want for that jacket? And I'm like, bro, I can't sell it to you. Like, it just...
And that's kind of, like, that's... The people who get it will get it.
And that's what I'm saying.
There's people that are looking for specifics, you know?
Yeah.
So, sometimes I'll hold on to something even if it doesn't sell forever. Someone's looking for that.
Yeah, somebody will get it. Like, that's been one of my greatest experiences. Just like this bro stopped his car in the middle of the street, chased me down the street to try and buy it off my back. And I'm like, I can't, bro. Like,
that's insane.
You know? And if I was all about the dollar, easy decision. Exactly. But it's like, I understand, like, and just... in a narcissistic way, I always realize that everybody has owned the clothes that I own now, right? But they had no idea what they had, or else they would still have it. I understand the value in it. That's why I have it now. Yeah. And that's what kind of kept me going and just thrifting is like, I understand the value in...
Everyone sees a different worth in
things.
And that's another beautiful thing about what I do, too, is when I'm out there, like, looking for stuff, I realize that this is trash to someone. But to me... it's worth so much.
It's gold, you know?
It's the gold, literally. Like, when I find something really cool, like, it's crazy, like, to find something in a pile of trash and know it's worth. And that's, like, has a deeper meaning to me, so maybe that's why I love this so much, but, yeah, I love it.
No, it's the exact same way for me. It's just knowing I found this and this these throwaway clothes and it's like, this shit is gold. So, like you said, people who get it, get it. If you don't,
Exactly.
I don't give a fuck.
And then you can go.
Yeah.
You can go to H&M.
You go to the mall and buy clothes at the mall.
Seriously.
I haven't bought clothes in the mall in 12 years.
Yeah, it's been
12
years.
12
I
years.
went to the mall 2 days ago, and I was like, dude, why did
Nothing.
I ever shop here? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I will say though, I do buy pants at Old Navy. I buy women's jeans from I like the women's jeans in Old Navy.
I get that.
To me, just 'cause I'm a bigger dude and like I wear skinny jeans and like sometimes the fits don't work, but the skinny jeans in the women's section in Old Navy, I like how
That's
they
so
fit.
Specific.
Yeah, because.
But that's the thing. Like I'm pretty specific too.
Yeah.
With like what I wear and how it fits me. So.
Yeah, I used to be ashamed. I used to have my girl, hey, go in there and look for a size 16. And then I'm just like, look at the fuck. They're just pants.
Nobody's gonna pay.
Yeah, nobody's gonna. They're just pants. They're just pants. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for rocking out. Just a reminder, KILJOY Volume 5 is available for purchase. I don't have any issues to show you right now, but it is available for purchase on KILJOYmagazine.com. Do you have anything you want to plug?
Just thank you, like for like even thinking of talking to me.
Well, no, I told you, when this is over, I have another proposition for you that we kind of already talked about or whatever that I'm starting to work on. But yeah, no problem. Thank you for taking the time. Yeah. All right, peace. All right. No, that was dope.
That was cool.
I feel like
that was an easy conversation.
I feel like you had a lot that you wanted to say that you were able to get out and say. You know?
Yeah, that was like a good vent. Like it felt like I was venting.
Like you had a lot you wanted to say.
I had some shit to say.
That you were able to get off your chest, which is dope because I like that.
Oh, dude, Instagram is messing with me because it went away.
Oh, see?
But I'm going to email them right now and be like, it just worked.
Yeah, my shit. But yeah, that was dope. Cool. Thank you for...
Yeah, of course.
Taking the time. But yeah, I'm working on Volume 6. And then so what I did, Volume 5, what I started was like fashion tips. Mm-hmm. I found this dude, Marvin. I don't know if you know him or not. But he's a super young dude who I think dresses really fly. Mm-hmm. So I did a segment where it's like I will highlight 10 outfits and then you give.
Yeah, you had told me about that, but I've just been so fucked up. Dude, I'm so sorry. And I'm down to work with you, and if you have a photographer, that would be.
So the photographer is the dude that came in here with the hat. Mm-hmm. He's my usual photographer, but I know, you probably have people that work well with your style. Mm-hmm. And I actually know a photographer that, Sid.
Yeah, I like her.
I feel like
I like her stuff.
Your style and her
I'd be down to work with her too, yeah.
Because she did, Stephanie Soul?
I do, yeah.
She shot Stephanie's pictures and they were fucking fire. But her aesthetic and your aesthetic would fit beautiful together.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
And she's the one to work with me again. So if you're down, I'll figure something out.
Yeah, just tell me when. My schedule is honestly very packed, especially like I think the next 2 weeks.
It's not gonna be for the months.
Okay, cool. Let me know ahead of time.
I'm taking a step back just to kind of figure out what KILJOY is.
Like the direction of it.
That's what I'm saying. Because Volume 5 just got done. It hasn't been doing what I wanted to do. So I'm kind of taking a step back, just trying to be like, all right, well, shit, what is KILJOY? Getting a bunch of other shit. Cool. But I'll give it to you. If you want to start working on the tips now, you can. If not,
yeah. I'll probably start thinking about it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but that's what I want to do for 6, like for involvement in your.
Yeah, I'm down.
Down with it.
I'm hella down. That sounds cool.
For sure. Because I think, like you said, there's a lot of women that I know, like I can't even think of their names right now, yo. What's her name? Jessica?
What is it?
I can't even think of her freaking name right now, but I seen you guys together.
Is it Jessica?
Is her name? No.
Or Veronica?
Veronica.
I don't fuck with her no more.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Turn it back on. Turn the camera back on.
No.
But, yeah, I had seen you guys together. I know she does a little bit, not to the extent that you do, though. Mm-hmm. And then there's
I don't trust her business, honestly.
No, I mean she does.
Like,
she just does a lot of women
she's
clothing.
the only person in town. I'm like, I don't even
shit.
want you to
That's
come
funny.
eat with us.
That's funny. And then I seen you with like Exotic Players Club.
I fuck with her. That's one of my besties.
She's actually fucking.
Her style, I would
she's
love
fresh
to
as
work with
fuck.
her. I would love to.
I've known about her since like 5-6 years ago. She probably remember what
I think she has one of my favorite styles here in town,
absolutely.
and it's crazy because she's not as highlighted as a lot of people.
No,
and I'm
she's
like,
not.
dude.
She used to really be heavy Instagram.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was on Tinder. We had matched one time, and I never hit her. But
This had to be a long time ago.
It was a long time. It was a long
I mean,
time
she's
ago.
been in a relationship.
It was like 6 years ago, like 6-7 years ago when
Yeah.
I was like doing shit. And then she knows my friend. She knows Ty, and so that's how I got connected the first time. Yeah, but she's fresh as fuck.
Yeah, I
Her
fuck with
style
her.
is dope. So
I'd love to
I want to do something with her too, because she's fresh as fuck. And I know she has a vintage shop as well. And I think you guys focus on different, maybe the same era, but different styles.
Yeah,
of
she
the
got a
same
little
era.
bit of a different style.
Yeah, but she's dope. And I don't know too many other people who like really do what you do out here.
Yeah, I have a few friends that like they're really good at what they do. But they have more of like a fairy aesthetic. I'm like all over the place, honestly. I like a little bit of everything.
No, I feel like yours is. It's not recording.
Oh, I said nigga.
I stopped it.
I said nigga. What the? I just looked at it. What happened?
I'm just doing, debriefing. It's not recording.
Oh well, it actually is. That's why you have to click to say stop recording.